Hi, it's April from the Noble Garden, and this morning I'm doing my daily walk around the garden. I do this several times a day like something's going to change. But I got to thinking, guys, I have been so wrapped up into my beginner garden series and my harvest basket series that I really haven't given you guys an update on what's actually going on around here. So if you haven't checked out my series, I have a beginner gardener series where I'm trying to teach people how to garden and just help them along. I have a dedicated bed in my garden that I am going to be planting and teaching from, so that way they can follow along if anyone is interested. And then the other series is my CSA Harvest Basket series. Is talking about the business that I'm starting up, and it's following my journey along with it, which a journey it has been. A lot of the stuff I'm going to show you today has a lot to do with the business. So right quick, I'm going to give you guys a small tour around the garden, showing you what is going on, and then we're going to talk about all my expansions and just what's going on around here. So let's get started on the garden part. So this is my kale, which my kale is doing really good. This is like the first stuff I started growing, and this is all for my CSA baskets. Of course, I'm going to be eating from it too. Like, this isn't all for the baskets, but most of this is. We're running into cabbages, which the cabbages look really good. If you're following me, as anyone knows, we've had some frosts that have become issues around here. Look how beautiful those heads of lettuce look. I'm excited about them. I'm excited to share them with my customers, and I'm excited to try them. And look at my carrots. I've never been able to really grow carrots. They've always been a pain in my butt, and I'm excited to see so much carrots in my garden. Now this right here we're running in, this is the second group that came out, and these are my cabbages. These guys have had a lot of problems. Let me look at this actually. Guys, this is broccoli, not cabbage, in this bed right here. I have had a lot of problems with my second succession growing. These are the cabbages, my bad. And as soon as we get done with this, I'm going to turn the camera and we're going to talk about this. So my second succession growing group got hit really hard with like a week of frost, and I lost a lot. And surprisingly, this group I just showed you has shown a bounce back, and I'm super excited about it. I did have a side that did the worst, that I did end up taking the plants up and putting starter plants from a local nursery in. But to see this bounce back as it has, super exciting, super motivation, I guess, because I really thought that this second succession, all of it was a goner. So I'm stoked that it might possibly work out. These are onions, and guys, this is the prettiest spot in the garden right now. This is romaine lettuce. This is part of the first succession growing, and look, I can just sit here and stare at it. I think that's beautiful. It's freckled romaine, which is the ones that are a mixture of color there. Your normal it's called Paris Island, but you know, the regular green, and then the red romaine. This bed right here is a bed that I did by strip tape. I had strip tape in my collection for a while and decided to try it out. It's carrots, Simpson seed, lettuce, and then the third is a mixture of different types of lettuce, and then you have spinach. It all looks really good. And then now you're going into the second succession growing of romaine, which also looks amazing. Okay guys, this is the broccoli that I bought and transplanted to take up the area that had died, and it looks good. And this down here at the bottom is my kale, second round of kale that actually looked like really bad when the cold snaps hit. That looks better. Kale is one of those that really does bounce back really well, can tolerate the cold. I have a lot of the lettuces up there at the top that were actually left over from the fall. A few of those bolted because they got old. And we had a round of hot after the frost. Guys, the weather has been something else this year. Cold, hot. It doesn't know what it wants to do. But I do think those deep freezes I dealt with, I am over. I wouldn't be shocked if I see another night in the high 30s, which all of this will be fine with that. But just shows you got to watch your weather. These are the onions that I planted back in like October or November, and they look really, really good. I'm excited to see them. This is my asparagus bed. I have been eating from it. I think now, just so that I make sure it gets good root development, I may not eat from it anymore. Big stalks like this, I probably could have still ate. But then I had these little stalks like that I most definitely need them to grow thicker. This bed, you cannot see much in it because it's covered up with mulch, but it does have kohlrabi and radish in it. You can see some radishes. Radishes are fast growers, so you're going to see them pop up. Guys, this is the third succession that you're not going to see as big because me and my daughter planted it last weekend. These are the remaining lettuces. We put more kohlrabi seeds in. And this is the broccoli. And then down at the end is all the cabbages that I bought. More lettuces, some Swiss chard mixed in. These are my cauliflowers. On the back row, you're going to see some snow peas that have grown. I swear they grow taller every day. Can't wait for them to touch the trellis though. So there you guys have it, a quick review of what's growing in the garden right now. As you see, it's cool weather crops, a bunch of lettuces, carrots, romaines, lettuces, cauliflower, broccoli, cabbage, those kind of things. Just anything I could put in a basket that they can make salads with, anything that grows cool. So now I'm going to show you guys the beginner gardener bed right quick. It's not much to see in it because I just have a few cooler crops in it. I do plan on growing a couple tomato plants in it, cucumbers, green beans, squash, zucchini. I think that's what I have planned out. But anyways, it's just to show them what you can grow inside of a 8-foot bed. See, not much to it right now, but here are some kales and romaines in it. And then the rest will follow as the temperatures get better. So now we're going to talk about expansion. In this view, this is last year's garden. All these beds I grew from last year. Now, right beside it is the expansion. How exciting is that, guys? You see that we're still working on them. But this is going to be about 6 to 8 more garden beds, and maybe even more depending on where we get done at. These first 2 beds right here actually already have potatoes in them. We planted them last week, so I don't expect to see them growing above ground yet. As you can see, my husband did design the beds different this year. A couple of those beds over there were noticing slight structural issues with it. So my husband thought of another way to try and see if we can get them more structural where they won't fall apart as soon. We're just trying to figure out ways to make the beds last longer. These beds, in my opinion, are absolutely gorgeous, and I am really enjoying the way they look. The garden is actually a little bit of a hot mess because we have wild onions that grow here, and surprisingly they go straight through this black stuff, which surprises me because not much does. But I do plan on picking up all the trash and dead plants and just get the weeds out, sweep it up. I want this to be a pretty area, and I am actually a little bit even ashamed to share stuff on YouTube with you guys. It's just been busy with my full-time nursing job, and my husband's doing all the building around here. You know, he built me the new coop. We never got to the greenhouse, which I'm going to show you some stuff about that. And now we're working on these garden beds. It's been a pretty busy year. Infrastructure, guys. You know, this is only our second year here in this land, and things just take time. So I do motivate my kids to help, and so hopefully this afternoon they can help a little bit with that. I might actually have them picking weeds. kids in picking weeds. If anyone has kids in gardening, everyone knows my challenge of getting them to pick weeds. But I also want to see if I can convince them to help me sweep up and get the trash up and get it looking pretty again, because if you guys followed me last summer, this was a gorgeous garden and I am determined to keep that going. But just bear with me. I do realize that when you guys see these videos, it is a little, I don't know the words I want to look for. I don't want to call it trashy, because it's still not trashy. It's still very beautiful. It's just, it needs a clean up, and I do plan on doing it. So I'm going to walk you guys around the berry garden and talk about the challenges of the berry garden. So before I walk to it, here it is. I know it's not very impressive. I do realize the berry garden is a multi-year project. These guys are perennials, you know, they come back every year and they just take time to develop. And I realized that. I also bought bare roots, and some of them just really did not make it. So I've had to rebuy plants. It's been quite the challenge, but I'm not going to give up because I really want this berry garden to work out. So now I'm going to show you guys these blueberry plants. These are probably the most impressive. They're the ones that did the best out of the stuff that I bought. Now this blueberry bush right here is actually a 3rd year. It's been transplanted, but it does have lots of berry blooms on it. So now this is my raspberries. These 2 plants right here have survived. These 2, I really think they're dead. I'll leave them in there. I ain't got nothing else to do but leave them in there, and we'll just see what happens, but they're not very convincing. Now, I'm going to show you the blackberry bushes, and then we're going to talk about the blackberry bushes. These guys were bought and planted last weekend. The blackberry bushes that I originally bought and put in this place are gone. And the reason why that is that when we put this black material down for the berry garden, we did not put enough staples in the ground, and we had windstorms that actually blew the black stuff up and ripped my blackberry bushes straight out of the ground. I put some back. They didn't really show any growth. And then my chocolate lab, who loves sticks, thought they were sticks and decided to take off running with them. The challenges also of gardening with pets, I guess. Anyway, so let's now talk about the strawberry plants. The company that I bought my bare roots from, I got about 75 strawberry plants. And I am not that impressed with the product. As you can see, you barely can see any live strawberry plants. I'm going to take you down the second row of the 3 beds, and you're going to see a few of them that were more lively. So these actually look more lively, and we'll see what they do. At my old place, I had quite the strawberry patch, and I'm just dying to have that strawberry patch back. I had like 300 plants, and I was able to eat strawberries almost every day while they were in season, because I had one year like 10 pounds of strawberries from my own garden, and I just want it back. That is the one thing that when I left behind that I was actually sad about, because I had took years to develop it. So I know it's going to take time to do it again, and I just feel like I don't got the patience for it, to be honest with you. But since the bare roots that I bought in the fall did not work out, I went ahead and bought 10 starter plants. And my plan with these plants is that as they grow runners, I'm going to use the runners to fill up the regular holes. It is going to take me a few years to actually fill this 75 up, and fill up. It's going to take me several years to fill up, you know, rows and rows of strawberries and actually get the strawberry patch going. What I might do is every spring, the company that I just bought these 10 starters from, I might buy like 10 starters every year. Plus, you know, I'm gonna have all the runners. And then eventually I'm gonna be so overrun with strawberries that in a few years, the next video you'll hear from me won't be me complaining that I don't have strawberry plants, but complaining that I have too many. But for now, I want my strawberry patch back. Let me show you these starter plants. They look way better than these plugs did. They look really, really good. So this is my greenhouse area, I guess is what you can call it. This, of course, is the start of the foundational area. This is not how big it is going to actually be, but we are putting pea gravel on the bottom because I live on hills, and we're going to use that for leveling, and then it's also going to be the floor of the greenhouse. The greenhouse is not going to be as big as you saw. He's using that as, guys, I cannot think of the words I want to use this morning. I'm so excited to show you guys everything. But I will have to ask him the exact measurements, but I can tell you that's pretty big. It's not going to be that big. We had gotten started on it, and then we got to looking at the timetable and realized we really need to get started on garden beds. And now that we're running really close to when I want my garden beds done, I'm so glad that we decide to jump ship on the greenhouse and start on the actual garden beds. So I'm going to show you one more thing about the greenhouse. Me and the girls have started painting the wood for the greenhouse, and I have decided that it's going to be gray. I just wanted to show you that we got started on that. I can't wait for the greenhouse to be done. The plan is for the greenhouse to most definitely be done for me to use next year, so I can plant heavier and just have more control over my plants. Because doing seedlings indoor at big volume on a small rack for harvest baskets is not ideal. Let me tell you, it did not work out very well. I mean, I couldn't grow everything I wanted to. So the greenhouse will be done for next year. Now, the greenhouse, it's going to be gray with peach for the door area. I do plan on planting some flowers on the outside of it that are white and peach to kind of go with that peach color. It's going to be very beautiful, just like everything else. I really got to learn patience. I have big visions. I have big thoughts, and I got to realize that you can only do what you can. And what if it takes a couple years? It ain't gonna hurt nothing. We're not going anywhere. It's here. This is ours. All of this is ours. And I've just got to be patient. So I am going to show you my lovely chickens, and then we'll call a wraps on this long video showing you guys what's going on and going on long rants about things. But I really felt like I haven't shared much with you guys about everything in a long time. I feel like this update was overdue. So, further ado, my chickens. Look at these lovely ladies. Hey, Missy. This is Missy. She's one of the baby barred rocks. Well, hello, Jasmine. One of the baby cinnamon queens. This is Dark Moon. She's one of the black sexlings I got from my dad. Look at these babies. Well, hello, Oreo. Guys, you can almost not tell the difference between the babies. This girl right here is my Oreo. She's like 2 years old now. And then the baby bar rack in front of her. You can't even tell. But, of course, they're all going to start coming up to me because they're actually very friendly chickens. And they probably think I got a snack for them, to be honest with you. Come here, ladies. Come here, ladies. All my ladies. You see, I start talking to them, they come running. And there is my beautiful new coop that I have highly enjoyed. My husband did a great job on it. I do plan on painting it. It is going to be painted green. And this area that we're looking at right now is going to be painted with the color peach that says the Noble Garden. Oh my goodness, ladies. Okay, ladies. Okay, ladies. Say bye-bye. I thank you guys for taking this long tour and update with me. I hope you guys are enjoying my channel, and I look forward to sharing more with you. Thank you.